Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 in our Women of the Bible series. Today we're talking about Sarah, the wife of Abraham and the mother of nations. Her story is a journey of faith, waiting, mistakes, and God's promise, and it has so much to teach us today. Sarah's story is found mainly in Genesis 12:23. She was originally called Sarai, which means princess, and Archer. God later changed her name to Sarah, which also means princess, but with a royal expanded promise. Genesis 17:15. She was Abraham's wife, and God promised that kings and nations would come from her. But her path wasn't easy. She had to wait a long time for God's promise to come true. Sarah and Abraham left their homeland when God called them to go to a land he would show them. Genesis 12:1. She followed her husband into the unknown, trusting God's call. God promised Abraham, "I will make you into a great nation. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you." But there was a problem. Sarah was barren, year after year, no child. Imagine the pain, the disappointment, the questions. In ancient culture, not having children was seen as shameful. Sarah carried that weight. In Genesis 16, Sarah decided to help God's promise along. She gave her Egyptian servant Hagar to Abraham. Hagar had a son, Ishmael, but this wasn't God's plan for the covenant promise. It caused strife, jealousy, and pain. How often do we try to rush God's timing or take matters into our own hands? Sarah's choice created conflict that lasted generations, but God still didn't abandon her. Years later, God visited Abraham and Sarah. Sarah was 90 years old. When she heard she would have a son, she laughed. Genesis 18:12. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" But God said, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Genesis 18:14. Sarah's laughter was doubt, but it also turned into joy. God kept his promise. Sarah gave birth to Isaac, whose name means he laughs. Her doubt turned into delight. Sarah is remembered as the mother of nations. God said, "I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her." Genesis 17:16. She became the ancestor of Israel, David, and Jesus himself. Despite her doubts, despite her mistakes, God was faithful. The New Testament praises her faith. Hebrews 11:7. By faith, even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful who had made the promise. 1 Peter 3:6. Sarah obeyed Abraham and called him her Lord. So, what can we learn from Sarah? 1. God's promises can take time. Years passed before Isaac was born. God's timing is perfect even when it feels slow. 2. Don't try to force God's plan. Sarah's choice with Hagar led to pain. Trust his ways. 3. God can handle our doubts. Sarah laughed in disbelief. God still fulfilled his word. 4. Nothing is too hard for God. Even a 90-year-old woman had a baby when God said so. 5. Your legacy is bigger than you think. Sarah couldn't see all God would do through her. We often don't see how our faithfulness ripples outward. Sarah's story isn't about perfect faith. It's about a faithful God who keeps his promises even when we struggle to believe. If you're waiting, if you're doubting, if you've messed up, God's not done with you. If this episode encouraged you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the Women of the Bible series. Comment below what part of Sarah's story speaks to you most. How does it challenge or encourage you? Thanks for watching. Stay faithful. God bless you. See you next time as we keep exploring the Women of the Bible.